What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Hope everybody's having a great day or night whenever you're watching this. Back with week 2, what we learned about each NFL team. Some things didn't really change too much. Some things there was a lot to talk about, but we're just going to talk about one thing for each team, okay? So I'm going to start off with the NFC West. I'm going to start in that division, and we're going to start with the Rams. I thought Puka and Adams, they looked really good together. That fit looks nice right now. I think Stafford in that combination is what they expected. And I think for the Cardinals, I think your secondary is young and it's good. I think it's a young, good, developing secondary. Only problem is they're hurt right now. They're getting hit with some injuries. But overall, I like what those through 2 games, what that secondary's put together. I think if you're a team like the Niners, we can talk about injuries, but that's really not where I want to go with the Niners. I think Mac Jones looked like he could hold it down for a couple games. So, as long as they can stay afloat with him like that, they'll be fine. And I think they'll probably get healthier as the season goes on. But Niners have been kind of cursed lately. So, and the Seahawks. Can we just give Kenneth Walker the ball 75% of the halfback touches? I like Zach Charbonnet, don't get me wrong. But K9 is just a different beast whenever he has that ball. And sure, week 1 did not look good. But they were playing against a very stacked front on the Niners. I just think the offense moves so much better when he's more involved. They're faster, their home run ability is higher. Get K9 the ball 75% of the touches. Go to the NFC East with the Eagles. Andrew Mukuba looked amazing in his second game as a safety, in his rookie year, obviously. They relied on him a lot to make a lot of big plays. There was the pick in the end zone. There's the hit on Mahomes. He was making plays. I think it was 3rd or 4th down where they're trying to do it to Hollywood Brown, and he just smacks him 1 yard before the line to gain. Mukuba looked legit. For the Dallas Cowboys, there's a lot of ways you could go with this, and this is not hot takeish at all. Brandon Aubrey is so by far the best kicker in the league. There's no team that you get to midfield, you get to the damn logo, and they say we're in range. There is one. It's the Cowboys. No other team is doing that. Ever. So, Brandon Aubrey, demigod of a kicker. The Commanders, I just didn't have very high expectations for the Commanders going into this year. Because we see this so often where like a young rookie QB comes in and lights it up. But year 2 is hard. There's tape on you. Teams know your tendencies. They know what you like to do in certain situations. Teams can scheme for you. Before it was college, where most of the college is just winging it for the most part. So now life is going to be harder for the Commanders this season than it was last year. If you want to go to the Giants, Malik Neighbors is probably top 5 as a wide receiver at this point because he just makes plays no matter who's throwing the ball, whether he's getting force fed or not. Malik Neighbors is a dog, and they really should have won the last game against the Cowboys, but it definitely wasn't Neighbors' fault that they didn't get it done. Going to the NFC North with the Vikings, kind of, the highs from week 1 to the lows of week 2. It just shows that J.J. McCarthy, he has a ways to go. A ways to go to get to where he needs to be. Out of 8 quarters, he's had 1 good one. So he's 1 for 8 right now in terms of playing well. And I'm not going to throw the kid under the bus and say he sucks and blah, 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 blah. It's just, you got to give him time. And this game just showed he's got a ways to go before he's going to be, that solidified, set-in-stone guy. The Chicago Bears, your run game is trash. It should not be trash when you have as many offensive weapons as you do, but they don't get a lot out of DeAndre Swift in terms of the yards that they need to get, and you can tell because the offense is very one-dimensional right now. And if you're the Green Bay Packers, you are hitting on all cylinders right now. There's 1,000 things you could say. I just think the easiest one that just makes the most sense, their defense is top 3 for certain. They might be top 1. Don't know yet. It's only been 2 games, but they definitely look top 3 to me. The Detroit Lions, this is why we don't overreact after 1 game, because there were people saying that the Lions offense is a disaster and that Ben Johnson was the only one. Campbell can't coach, blah, 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 blah. 52 ball. Enough said. NFC South. This division, it's really a two vehicle race at this point, but the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Baker Mayfield just continues to win me over. And he's just a dog. there's the play where he's running and he gets front flipped, and there's the play he's running, scrambling. The game is completely on the line. It's 4th down, and he looks like he's going to be hurt. But then somebody says something, and he all of a sudden his antidote pops in, and he's talking shit. And that's just so entertaining. Give me more Baker Mayfield. I'm so glad that I was wrong about him a few years ago. He looks like a franchise dude just across the board. And I think Tampa is very lucky to have him. If you want to go to the Atlanta Falcons, very big rival right now, I think their pass rush is definitely very much so improved. They had a great game, obviously, going against J.J. McCarthy, who was holding on to the ball too long. But they were getting after him. And it wasn't, like they were just coverage sacks. Like, they were getting there quick, too. So the pass rush looks improved, and it's young. They've got a lot of young players on that D-line. I was really happy to see that performance in week 2. And then, Carolina, the offensive line is just beat. Injuries have destroyed it. I know Robert Hunt's probably done for the year. And then the center's down. His name's slipping my mind right now. But they lost 2 big starters on that line that already wasn't very good. And now losing that's going to suck. So even bigger steps to climb now for Bryce Young and company. The New Orleans Saints, I thought Spencer Rattler, through the first couple weeks, he's looked manageable out there. Like, they just don't have a lot of talent, but he's looked improved in going into this year. So kind of happy to see that for him. If you're the AFC South now with the Houston Texans, this is the same story as it was last week. Your O-line is an absolute disaster. That O-line is going to hold them back all the way through this season. They might have enough talent because their defense looks great, but their O-line is going to be the reason this team does not get to where it wants to go. Just straight off the top. That might be hot take-ish and too early to say, but man, it looks bad. The Indianapolis Colts, Cam Bynum, the celebrations. Got the best ones in the game. If you haven't already, I might put it in this video. I probably will just because I thought it was hilarious. Cam Bynum's celebrations are amazing. That's my takeaway from them. Even though they're 2-0 and there's a lot of things to talk about, it's my favorite thing in football right now. If you're the Jacksonville Jaguars, on the flip side of this, Brian Thomas Jr. looks scared out there. There is a huge amount of clips going around of him, alligator arming the ball and not seemingly wanting to take any contact. And that's scary for a year 2 guy. So that's something definitely to be worried about. Tennessee Titans, want to talk about something to be worried about? Cam Ward is going to get hammered all year long. That O-line is going to get him killed this season. It's going to be a long year of taking big hits. Hopefully he can get through this, and then they draft and sign correctly. But the O-line, Cam Ward is going to get hammered a lot this year. The AFC North, Baltimore Ravens, any given week, it doesn't matter. Lamar Jackson's going to carry you. He's going to throw touchdowns to dudes you haven't heard of in 2 years. Like, they put up 30-plus points, and there was no Mark Andrews, there was no Derrick Henry, and there was no Zay Flowers. Like, all the things that you would have expected just weren't there, and they still put up a 30 ball. Lamar Jackson is going to get you there. Cincinnati Bengals, your season's over. Next. Cleveland Browns, Quinshon Judkins looked very good in his limited role. Very limited role, but he had some very nice, explosive plays. Looks like the guy that they drafted him to be. The Pittsburgh Steelers, your defense just looks overmatched right now. Like they struggled against the Jets, who put up like 3 points the following week, and then they got smacked by the Seahawks. So that defense, which is normally a mainstay, is looking very, very sketchy right now. AFC East, the Jets, I just talked about them. Where 1 week they look amazing, and this week they just get destroyed. The main thing I'm kind of taking away from them, though, through the 2 games, and especially after week 2, their defense is nowhere near what it was in like 2023. That defense is kind of, it's a confusing puzzle right now because most of the players are the same, but yeah, the defense has a long ways to go. If you're the Buffalo Bills, who beat the brakes off the Jets, I think James Cook has just proven himself to be a total game breaker. If you guys ever played Street and things like that growing up as kids, James Cook is a total game breaker out there. The Miami Dolphins, the play calling is a disaster. They have, like, I think it's they're either first or top 4 in rushing yards, like per touch, and the very bottom in rushing attempts. So that's a coaching thing. If we want to go to the New England Patriots, who just beat the Dolphins, I think Drake May is just looking a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better. He's stacking successful weeks on top of each other, and I think that he's getting better as we watch him go. Exactly what you want to see. It's kind of what you're hoping to see from J.J. McCarthy when he gets back. I think Drake May is kind of that standard right now of just a young developing quarterback, and he looks like he's learning the game. The AFC West, we're going to start with the Chargers. Big Monday Night Football win against the Raiders. Defense locks him down. One thing, and he's getting too much scrutiny, in my opinion, with Omarion Hampton. He looks good with the ball and all that, but the thing I really want to talk about with him is the pass protection. He's been very good in pass protection, picking up blitzes. There's been very, very rare when teams are blitzing that somebody comes through untouched and Herbert has to make a miss immediately. That hasn't really been the case. Go back and watch Hampton. He's taking shots in the gap to give Herbert an extra 1 or 2 seconds to find the right guy. The touchdown to Keenan Allen in the back corner of the end zone. Herbert's able to rotate out because Hampton picks up the block and stays on the block as long as he does against a much bigger dude. And that obviously frees up Herbert to break outside and have a nice, easy toss to the corner of the end zone. That play does not happen without Omarion Hampton making pass protection. He's been really good there. The Las Vegas Raiders, the O-line on the interior, especially without Jackson Powers-Johnson, has just been a disaster. They're not getting any push up front, and they're just getting knocked backwards on feels like every pass play. They got kind of manhandled in week 2, so they got to figure that out. And that is something to be worried about. If you're the Kansas City Chiefs, something to be worried about. There's just no firepower in your offense right now. Mahomes has been insane with how well he's played, but they just don't have any juice in the receiving core to just ease up the game a little bit. And you know, it's showing because they can't really sustain drives, and just the firepower is just not there. If you're the Denver Broncos, the last team I'm going to talk about, Bo Nix, he just doesn't look that much better than he was last season. It's only been a couple of games, but you know, they're probably 2-0 if they don't get called for kind of a bogus penalty that happens on pretty much every kick. But yeah, Bo Nix he hasn't really looked to be that much better as you would hope. And maybe that's just my personal opinion, but I was hoping he would do better than what he was last season because I think people are overrating him quite a bit. But he's also a young quarterback, so you just gotta let him develop. But like I haven't seen what I wanted to see out of him so far. But yeah, let me know what you've taken away about your favorite team, good or bad, and what you agree or disagree with that I've talked about. If you've seen some of these things, it is hard to watch all of these teams and have a in-depth, thorough analysis. I'm not going to pretend to be some super expert. It's just from the plays and the series and stuff like that I've watched of them. These are just some things I've taken away. But yeah, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you like this kind of content, please like the video. I appreciate you for watching. But I'm done. Peace.